This is a very popular word. For those who like to invest in currency and so forth, you should know this. It is forex. Yep. What's that?
Foreign exchange.
Foreign exchange. Yep, forex is foreign exchange. Okay. You can also think about forex as foreign exchange market. This is part one. Later we have part two. In part one, we talk about currency assets. Currency, as you know, is the money we use. Paper notes, coins that we use to buy goods and services. That is our currency. Okay, but usually when you go to supermarkets to purchase something, you don't tell the shop assistant, I pay you this currency. No, we pay money. The currency is the word we use internationally. When we want to refer to international transaction, we use currency. Okay? Currency is asset, is our asset. But what does it mean by asset? There are differences between asset and liability. I believe those are some things you learn from financial courses. Okay? Asset is something valuable we own. Okay? Liability is something we owe. Need to pay. Yeah? For example, if you have currency, this currency could be some amount of money that you bought from someone. You can't call it asset. Currency, when it belongs to ourselves, that currency becomes our asset. It is valuable, something with value. But this value is not constant. Okay? The value of our asset is not constant. It can change. It can go down over time. It can go up over time. Okay? Right. Let's have a look at this quick info a little bit. What do you call these things? This one. What do you call this? Anyone? Please don't tell me this is coin. Yes, it looks like coin, but in fact, this is what?
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is under the category of cryptocurrency. Okay? It's Bitcoin. How much is one Bitcoin? Nowadays, I think recently, a few days ago, I checked the website. Anyone tell me how much is that? Approximately, roughly. Don't tell me 100 ringgit you can buy one Bitcoin. No, impossible. Not even $100 can buy one Bitcoin. Yep, around there, which is 70,000 ringgit ratio. Get one Bitcoin. That is the price of one Bitcoin. Okay. So if someone wants to hold asset in the form of Bitcoin, perhaps you can just able to purchase portions of this Bitcoin, not just whole, just a little bit here. Okay. Other than Bitcoin as digital money, we also have these paper notes or bank notes. Usually what we see is coins that we have and bank notes that we have. Okay? Bank notes like 1 ringgit, 5 ringgit, 10 ringgit, 100 ringgit. Which institution issued these bank notes? Which institution supply these bank notes? Who give you these bank notes? You have a lot of paper money, right? Who supplied this? Who printed these banknotes? Who supplied? The National Bank of Malaysia, for example. Okay? The National Bank has the sole authorities to print these banknotes, to produce coins. No other parties, just National Bank. A national bank have different names in different countries. For example, in the United States, the national bank is called. What is the name of the national bank in the United States? You know FR? Federal Reserve. Federal Reserve is the name of the national bank in the United States. You can also see from these favorite notes here, it's written Federal Reserve. Yeah? Okay? Another thing I want to ask you is which currency from which country is most traded every day? US dollars should be the one. Yeah? This is the statistic they gave us for 2016. Although this information is a bit old, but it's still applicable nowadays. US dollar is the most used currency every day, not just in the United States, but across countries, many other countries. For example, if you want to purchase something from Amazon, you're gonna pay USD, not ringgit ratio. Yeah. The second one is euro. Euro. Let me see. Not all countries in Europe use euro. Only countries belongs to the European Union who use euro. Have you ever heard about Brexit? Brexit. United Kingdom leave European Union. Once they leave, you can't use euro in UK. You have to use pound sterling. The third one, what is the third one?
Yen.
Yen. Okay, yen. And yen also used, the name of the calling here also used in China, for example, yen. Renminbi is one calling, another one is yen in Chinese also. The fourth one is, I think this one is very popular here, the symbol is pound sterling, okay, in the United Kingdom. And the last one is the Aussie, right? Australia currency. Okay, just to give you some idea which currency is most traded every day. This is an example of US dollars. US dollar. If you don't have any experience, to look at how US dollar looks like. This is an example. Okay, who is this person? Abraham Lincoln. Who is that? Yes, the name is correct, Abraham Lincoln. But who was that? What he served? Yep. The former presidents of the United States, the 16th United States president, prime ministers. Okay. And nowadays, I believe that the United States have more than 40 prime ministers. And the current one, Joe Biden, it is the number 45 or 46. I think it's 46. Yep. Okay. Now today, when we touch about currency, the main components we want to discuss here is the exchange rate. I believe you guys have heard about exchange rates a lot of time, but do you have a good knowledge about that one is the question. So let's have some technical understanding about exchange rate and how exchange rate is related to other important elements in economics. Yeah. Now exchange rate, formally in academic, in the language of academic, exchange rate is the price of one currency in terms of another currency. Meaning, it is the price that you can pay in order to get one currency using your own currency, that is exchange rate. That is the price of currencies. The price between two currencies. But in daily communications, we seldom tell people exchange rate is the price of currencies, like that. They don't understand. But in the academic language, we use exchange rate. We see exchange rate as the price of one currency. We pay the price of this currency, we can get this currency using our own currency. Okay? So here we have foreign currency and we have domestic currency or local currency. Okay? Foreign currencies, for example, currency from Europe, from the United States, those are foreign currency. Domestic currency means ringgit Malaysia's rate. But what about you are now in the United States, in New York, for example? What is your domestic currency? US dollars. When you are in New York, you should consider your domestic currency as US dollars. But your home currency is ringgit Malaysia. Okay? Have you distinguished all the same? But how to write this price? If you want to quote, the language is code. Q-U-O-T-E, code. We want to quote the price of one currency in terms of other currencies. That is the currency quotation. Okay? How to write this one? For example, right here. These quotations mean you need to pay 4 ringgit and 3 cents in order to get 1 US dollars. Then what is the price of 1 US dollar? The price of 1 US dollar is equals to 4 ringgit and 3 cents. Right here. Okay? This symbol, for example, MYR, Malaysian ringgit, MYR, or USD, United States dollar. These abbreviations are called currency code. Okay? This is called currency code. Alternatively, we can write this quotation using currency symbol. For example, ringgit Malaysia, US dollars. 4 ringgit and 3 cents is required to purchase 1 US dollars. Okay? In this way, I use currency symbol. We can also write this exchange rate in this way. We put the number first, and we put the currency ratio at the back. This is another way. Okay? The price of $1 or 1 US dollar is 4 ringgit and 3 cents. What is the reverse? The reverse means what is the price of 1 ringgit Malaysia in terms of US dollars? How do you get this? 1 divided by 4.03, correct? Okay? For example, can you do some calculation for me? If 1 divided by 4.03, you get 0.248. Hope you can see it. 0.248. That is the price. Meaning 25 cents in US dollars to get 1 ringgit Malaysia. Okay? Right. And as I said before, this abbreviation, MYR USD, are called currency codes. Okay? In contrast, if we have a symbol like this one, together with some abbreviations like US and dollar here, or the sign here, NZ, New Zealand dollar, but we don't put D, we use the symbol, and Singapore dollar, for example, this kind of notation, we call them currency symbols. Right? Money is a financial asset. As I said, asset is something valuable that we own. If we have money, that money belongs to ourselves. We call that financial asset. And because exchange rate is a quotation that we refer when we want to buy or sell one currency. So the exchange rate is actually the price of one country's currency in terms of another country's currencies. Yeah. Okay. Another way to look at exchange rate is to read this as the relative price of the currencies. When you say 4 ringgit and 3 cents per US dollar, that looks like a relative price, correct? The price of $1 US is 4 ringgit and 3 cents. On the other way around, if you want to look at how much is 1 ringgit Malaysia in US dollar, you got 25 cents per ringgit Malaysia. That is a relative price, isn't it? Yeah. So that is another way to reverse exchange rate, which is a relative price of the currency. But this relative price can be read in two alternative formats, namely direct and indirect way. Let's assume ringgit Malaysia is the local currency, meaning its home currency, and US dollar is the foreign currency. The direct ways to express the relative price of currency is Malaysian ringgit per US dollars, or you can write RM over US dollars. Now, what does it mean? This means how much Malaysian ringgit do you need in order to get $1 US. Okay, this is direct. It means how much you need to pay using Malaysian ringgit in order to get $1 US. That is direct. Okay. On the other way, indirect. Indirect means US dollar per Malaysian ringgit. Okay. What does that mean? The second one. The second one means how much foreign currency is needed in order to get 1 ringgit Malaysian ringgit. That is indirect. Why we call it indirect? Because we want to, the second one say foreign currency in order to get 1 ringgit Malaysian. It is not something we say like this one. This one is more direct because we are using the quotation from domestic or home currency to say how much our money can buy $1 US. The second one says the reverse, meaning how much foreign currency is needed to get 1 ringgit Malaysian. Okay, that's indirect. Later I will ask you some question regarding this one, whether the quotation is direct or indirect. Yeah. Okay, let's do some exercise for this one. Malaysian firms want to import 10,000 units of Xbox One console. Maybe some of you not recognize what is Xbox One console. Have you ever heard about? I believe I just worry some of you do not know. This is just a game console, okay? A game console, just like PlayStation. Another one is, I guess the enemy of PlayStation is Xbox One, maybe. So 10,000 units of Xbox Ones are imported from the United States, and the price per unit quoted in US dollar is 400 USD. The current exchange rate is this one. Okay. Now, my questions to you: this quotation, is this direct or indirect? The red why? Because home currency first, right? Meaning that we are asking how much ringgit Malaysia is required to pay get $1. That is correct. Yeah. Second question here is what? This question. What is the total cost in US dollars? We have the price per unit $400. We know the quantity. So the price total cost is in USD 4 million. Okay? How do you get 4 million? 400 times 10,000 units. 4 millions. So the cost to import these 10,000 units of Xbox One console is equal to $4 million. But what is the total cost in Malaysian ringgit? The second question. What do you do? We need to do some conversion, isn't it? Meaning that we need to convert the price, the total cost in USD to Malaysian ringgit. How to do that? We need to use the exchange rate, correct? The exchange rate is 4 ringgit and 50 cents. Do we minus or add or divide or multiply by 4 million? Multiply. Okay? We use the exchange rate, multiply 4 million, we get this one. How much is this? 16,600,000. Yeah? In Malaysian ringgit. By the way, don't worry about the exchange rate. I give you 4.15. That is not the true one. If you want to know the true exchange rate, you can check the internet later, because the exchange rate, it changes all the time. Yeah. Okay. Next question. What is the total cost in Kuwaiti dinar? KWD? Search online for exchange rate. Okay, never mind, you don't have to search online. I will give you one example. Okay, the Kuwaiti dinars per RM, this one I will give you as 0.073 per RM. Okay. $0.073 per ringgit Malaysia. That means 1 ringgit Malaysia can buy how much Kuwaiti dinar? 0.07 cent. Now you can imagine how expensive is Kuwaiti dinar. Yeah. Now if you know the exchange rate is 0.073, then what is the total cost in Kuwaiti dinar? What should you do here? Multiply which value? 60,600,000 multiply 0.073. Okay. Right. This is what we got. This is around 1 million. Okay, around 1 million. Last question is a little bit complicated here. Now it requires you to convert this value back to US dollars. Based on this amount in Kuwaiti dinar, you need to convert this amount back to US dollar, but you don't want to look for internet anymore. For example, we have already looked for internet to look for the current exchange rate between Malaysian ringgit and US dollar, and then look for internet to look for the exchange rate between Malaysian ringgit and Kuwaiti dinar. Enough. That's enough. You don't have to look for the exchange rate between USD and Kuwaiti dinar anymore. You already have the information. Just need to do some calculation in order to get the exchange rate between Kuwaiti dinar and USD. Okay? How to get that one? Now, from our previous understanding, Okay, right here we have USD per, USD per ringgit is equals to, can you convert this one? I want to know the indirect exchange rate now, the indirect one, for 4 ringgit and 15 cents. What is the value here? Okay, let me write down first. I just want to calculate this one. US dollar per ringgit. This is equals to 0.2411. Okay. Is there any 4 digit or just 3 digits? 0.96. Okay, we use the 4 numbers here. 0.96, correct? Correct, okay. And then the next one we need is the Kuwaiti dinar. Over ringgit Malaysia. And this one is, we have the answers already in red. Oh, sorry. Yeah. 0.73. Okay. Now, can you do some divisions now? Just divide 0.2406 divided by 0.073. What do you get? 3.3000. Zero point 30088. Okay. This is the exchange rate between what currencies? This is US dollars over KWD. Okay, US dollars over KWD is equals to $3.30 to get 1 Kuwaiti dinars. Okay. Now, can you times? You multiply 3.3008. You multiply this amount. What do you get?
Yes.
So 3,904 close to 4 million, correct? Yeah. If your answer is close to 4 million, that means you get this value. You convert back to this value. Okay? But sometimes, because of the decimal places, your calculations could be close to this one, but not exactly 4 million. Yeah? That's why I used so many decimal places at the back in order to get the most accurate calculation. Yeah? Right? Two important concepts that you have to keep in mind. One is appreciation, another one is depreciation. These two concepts, appreciation, depreciation, are used frequently when we talk about exchange rate. Appreciation here means the currency improved against other currencies. Okay? I don't say increase, I say improve. There is an intrinsic meaning for appreciations there. When I say ringgit Malaysia appreciates against US dollar, that means ringgit Malaysia's improve in terms of value compared to the United States dollars. Okay? Depreciation is the opposite, meaning the value of currency decreases against another currency. Usually we compare with the United States dollar. As we understand, the USD is the most traded currency in the world. Usually we compare with the United States dollars. Now, some things you should avoid is when you read the currency, for example, this one, okay? This is direct or indirect? Direct, okay? This is direct. 4 ringgit and 50 cents to get $1. When the price changes, like yesterday is 4 ringgit and 50 cents, today is 3 ringgit and 98 cents. Sorry, 3 ringgit and 98 cents to get $1. The value here decreases or increases? The value here decreases, correct? But we call this appreciation. Appreciation here, ringgit Malaysia improved against US dollars. Why improve? Previously, you have to pay this amount to get $1, and now you have to pay just this one. A cheaper, you use a lesser home currency to get $1. In other words, when currency appreciation happens, we call this as ringgit Malaysia become more expensive. Okay, ringgit Malaysia become more expensive. Depreciation happens when, for example, you need to use more ringgit Malaysia to get $1. Just like this example. Yesterday you pay this amount to get $1. Today you have to pay this amount. Okay? The value increase, correct? We call this depreciation. Depreciation. This is currency depreciation. Okay? But currency appreciation and depreciation can also cause some impact to the import and export between two countries. Why? Because when we import and export products from other countries, we usually pay US dollars, for example. Okay? Because of these fluctuations of currency, sometimes currency appreciate, sometimes currency depreciate, that will affect the cost of import and export. Okay? Now, currency appreciation. Let me ask you: appreciation makes ringgit Malaysia expensive or cheaper?
Expensive.
More expensive. Okay. When local currency become more expensive, let's say I am someone from the United States. I want to buy something from Malaysia. Your currency increases. That makes it more expensive for me to buy from you. Okay? So I'm just one example. Could be a lot of people out there want to import from Malaysia. Okay? But when Malaysian currency become more and more expensive, currency appreciation, that will reduce the export of Malaysia. Why? Because export become more expensive, correct? Okay? But there is also benefit. Currency appreciation actually makes your import cheaper. Your import cheaper, why? Just like if you want to buy the export console from the United States, the import is cheaper now because your currency becomes stronger, right? The other way to look around, just like appreciation, when appreciation happens, yeah? Okay. The next concept we want to learn is common currency unit. Now, common, the word common here means products are expressed in the same currency. When we buy something, when we want to compare something, usually these two products are measured in different currency, US dollars in relation to ringgit. Those are not in common currencies. But when we express the price of this product under the same currency, we call it common currencies. Yeah? Common currency unit. This concept is just another way to understand the implication of exchange rate, what we see so far is the price of one currency compares to the other one. Another way to look at exchange rate is by using this concept, common currency unit. What does it mean? Sometimes we care about products, the real products that we can buy using our own money. For example, in this example, here, sunglasses. You know, United States is very popular in producing sunglasses, like what is that, Ray-Ban or something. Yep. And let's say Malaysia is popular in producing jeans clothes. Okay, this example. We want to understand how many pairs of jeans produced in Malaysia can be traded for one pair of sunglasses in the United States. Right? So products compares to products. This is another way to look at exchange rate. In the bank, before this one, you understand how much you need to pay in order to get $1, that is exchange rate. But now we use different ways to look at it. We use how many products from Malaysia are needed in order to get one product from another country. To see the impact of currencies, okay? Right, now this is the definition. When the price of one good in foreign currency is expressed in terms of price of another good in local currency, this is a relative price expressed in common currency unit. Suppose that a pair of American sunglasses costs $100 and a pair of Malaysian jeans costs $80 ringgit. The common currency unit is calculated as the price of a pair of sunglasses by the pairs of jeans in Malaysian ringgit. So if the exchange rate is 4 ringgit and 15 cents, what is the relative price? What is the relative price? Now the trade to calculate this one is you must first convert the $100 of sunglasses into Malaysian ringgit before you do the division here. Okay? If you convert the $100 sunglasses, how much is in Malaysian ringgit? The sunglasses sold $100 in the United States. How much is the cost here in Malaysia? 415. Okay. You times 100 by the exchange rate, correct? And then you divide it by the 80 ringgit for pairs of jeans. This is the result you get, which is you get the value 5.19. What does it mean by 5.19? It means if you want to trade for one pair of sunglasses from the United States, you need to trade 5.19 units or pairs of jeans in order to get one pair of sunglasses from the United States. That is the impact. Okay? This is just a very simple impact. In reality, the comparison here can involve a very significant output. Okay? That means this comparison. Here, you may say that the use of jeans and sunglasses are just very trivial examples, right? But this is just how to understand, because in reality, this can become very complicated. For example, if you want to look at the infrastructures in Malaysia and the United States, how are you going to calculate the portions of infrastructures in Malaysia to be equalized to one part of the infrastructures in the United States? That is a very complicated issue to calculate. This is just to give you the foundation, the very basic understanding of this, the implication of exchange rate. Yeah. Right. Can we do another exercise? This one. We just need to divide the price of a pair of sunglasses by the price of goods in relation to ringgit based on different exchange rate. For example, the first exchange rate is 4 ringgit 50 cents. What is the value here? Again, 100 times 4.15 and then divided by 80. You get 5.19. And the second one, 5. And the third one, 4 point something. 4.94. And the last one, this one is also 4 point something. 4.78. Okay. Can you answer the question? Does Malaysia's ringgit appreciate or depreciate in this case? From January until April?
Appreciate.
Appreciate. Okay. And second question, what is the impact of this currency appreciation or depreciation on the debt and prices of import and export? Currency appreciation means Malaysia's ringgit become cheaper or expensive?
Expensive.
Cheaper. Expensive. Okay, expensive. Expensive means it will increase export or reduce export.
Reduce export.
It will reduce export, meaning it has a negative impact on export, but it has a positive impact on import. Okay. Alright, Malaysian ringgit appreciate because lesser Malaysian ringgit is needed to obtain $1. Okay, appreciation, and then the appreciation of Malaysian ringgit raise Malaysia's relative price of export and lowers the relative price of import. Okay, the same meaning. It makes export more expensive. It makes import cheaper. Okay. Now, from this time on, we will still do some calculation, but this calculation is to help us make a decision whether it is worth enough to invest in certain financial instrument. Okay, for example, share of stock, for example, deposit in a bank account, right? But we are not going to talk about deposit in local bank, of course. We are talking about deposit in foreign banks. Whether it's worth it to make a decision to put your money in a foreign bank, for example. Yeah? There are 4 elements that you need to pay attention here. That these four elements are very important to help you make decisions, to decide whether it's worth it or not to invest your money. The first one is asset returns. Okay, you understand what asset means? We are talking about currency asset here. Yeah, and we want to see returns, meaning what kind of profit that we can realize by our asset here. But of course, if you put your asset at home, it won't generate any additional benefits, right? It won't generate any additional profit. So we are talking about to invest your asset in the form of purchasing share, in the form of putting your money as a bank deposit, for example. Yeah. Risk and liquidity. Risk. The definition of risk, something we learned from microeconomic tool, for example. Risk is the probabilities to incur some things that we don't decide to happen. Right? Some things that is beyond our expectation. We don't decide, but there is a probability that that event will occur. Just like financial crisis. Can we call financial crisis a risk? Yes, if you invest a lot of money, that could be a risk to you. Yeah? Liquidity. What is the second term? Liquidity. What does it mean? This is a term from the financial language. Liquidity. You know liquid, right? Liquid means like water, water. Liquidity here means the extent to which or how quick you can convert your asset into money. For example, house. You purchase a house, okay? And now you want to sell your house. How quick you can sell your house? Is it 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 months, or maybe several years? Selling the house usually takes time. It could take up to maybe several years to get one house sold. Okay? Because it takes a long time, we say that real estate like houses are not, less liquid. Less liquid. In contrast, cryptocurrency, for example. Cryptocurrency, you can trade on stock market, right? You can buy and you can sell quickly for money. For example, if you put you put 70,000 of money to buy one Bitcoin, can you sell this one Bitcoin back to your money? Although you might incur loss. How quick can you sell this cryptocurrency? It's just a matter of quick, right? It's just a matter of second of quick. Then you sell the Bitcoin. So the liquidity for cryptocurrency is very high. The highest, the quicker you can convert your asset to money, the higher the liquidity. Interest rate. What is interest rate? Interest rate here is also return. This one usually for deposit, bank deposit. Usually you will earn deposit interest. Okay. So exchange rate, you understand what exchange rate is, and asset return that is defined above here. Let's get into some cases that will help us understand how to realize, how to get the value, or to have some ideas about asset returns with liquidity, interest rate, exchange rate, and asset returns. The first one, we're going to look at asset returns. Now, our purpose here is to calculate the returns of an asset that we own. Yeah. A purchase of foreign asset means savings that an economic agents expect to get back with profits in future consumption, right? The rate of return plays an important role because return is our profit, and our profit can be used to purchase goods and services. Exchange rate will be explained later. Okay, let's consider one case. Consider an economic agent who wants to buy a share of stock in the 1st of January 2019. This is case number one. One share of stock offered by financial institution XYZ. The cost is 300 ringgit, and the dividend paid for this investment is 3 ringgit after 1 year. Meaning, end of the year, this is 1st January. Okay, this is 1st January. End of the year is 31st of December, for example. This investor will get dividends of 3 ringgit, right? The dividend is usually from the profit of the institution, and then the institutions will pay the dividends to the investor. The stock market has increased to, the stock price has increased to 327 ringgit after 1 year. What is the rate of return? The rate of return. This should be in percentage term. What is the new revenue, the new value of this share of stock after 1 year? 327 added 3 ringgit, we get 330. That is the new value of the share. The new values minus the old value divided by the old value times 100. What do you get? Okay, right here. I just right here. 330 minus 300 divided by 300 times 100. And the answer is
10%.
10%. 10%. The rate of return is 10%. You can familiarize yourself with this language like rate of return or something, because this is the term, the phrase we usually use in finance and banking. Let's look at another case. We're still looking at asset returns, but I add one word here: expected asset returns. As an investor, when we want to make this decision to invest, not to invest in one asset or share of stock, we usually cannot avoid from making expectation. We want to do some expectation, or some people will call it speculation. We want to expect whether the companies will perform well or perform badly over time. There's some of the factors that can affect the performance, the financial performance of a company. Yeah? And therefore, expectation is unavoidable in making decisions, right? In the second case, one share stock for financial institution XYZ, 300 ringgit. Assume there is no dividend for this one, okay? The stock price is expected to increase to 330 after 1 year. What is the expected rate of return? %. How do you get 10%? You get use the new value minus the old one divided by the old one times 100. Get 10%. But this one we call it expected rate of return. Okay? For example, if you have opportunities to be a financial consultant or economic consultant later in certain banks or insurance companies or so forth, this is the language you should use carefully. This is, if you just mention rate of return, the client might ask you, is this real or just your expectation? It's just your expectations whether you use expected rate of returns. Another term that you should remember is, because this expected rate of return, it doesn't consider the fluctuations of price levels in economies. That does not really reflect the real profit of this investment. Do you know that inflation sometimes can, all the time, can affect our purchasing powers. Yeah? With 3 ringgit, inflation ringgit here, okay? Maybe you can purchase 10 shares. But when inflation happens, it can erode the purchasing powers of your money. You might not be able to purchase again 10 shares with 300 ringgit. Maybe you can just purchase maybe 8 or 9. Yeah? So we need to take into consideration the impact of inflation right here. Let's see here. Okay. Case number 3. We are still considering an investment of 1 share stock for company XYZ with a price of 300. Assume there is no dividend also. The stock price is expected to increase to 330 after 1 year. But here we also consider inflation rate of 10%. Now we want to calculate the expected rate of return, but this time we also add one to the expected real rate of return because we take into account the impact of inflation. Yeah, let's do some calculation. The expected, okay, first of all, we forget, we just ignore real, just calculate the expected rate of return. What is the value here?
10%.
Is it 10%? Okay. The expected rate of, so you say that expected rate of return is 10%, right? But we have inflation rate of 10% also. That means we have to minus inflation rate. We get 0. The conclusion is, if we take into consideration the impact of inflation, there is no return at all from this investment. So you can question yourself, is it worth it to do this investment? It's not worth it. Yeah? Okay, the next step is we consider risk and liquidity. The things we want to emphasize here is actually risk, as I defined to you. Risk is the probability that something we don't decide to happen, it happens. For example, when you invest in the share of stock, do you expect the share price to increase or decrease? Usually we expect the price to increase, okay? But that is our expectation. That is what we decide. But in the end, what happens, it could be the price, the share price decreases, not increases, right? That is the risk. When the price decreases, instead of going up, then we incur loss, not profit. For example, right here, one share stock by institution XYZ is 300, the share no dividend. The stock price expected to increase to 360 this time. Inflation rate is expected to decrease 10%. The actual stock price increases 20% after 1 year. What is the real rate of return? Well, this one is getting more and more complicated. In case number 6 is even more complicated. This is just case number 4. Just calculate the rate of return first. Calculate the expected rate of return.
20%.
20%. Okay. This is no space, so I just write here. 20%. Do we have inflation? Is it 10%? Okay, minus 10% inflation rate. Yeah. And then the actual stock price at the end of the year actually decreases 20%. What is the values there? If it decreases 20%, plus 20. If the stock price, the initial stock price is 300, if it decreases 20%, what is the value? Minus, is it minus 20%? How much you got? 240. Okay? Right. Now here, okay, just look at the percentage because it says it decreases 20%. Should we add or minus 20% here? Should we divide, should we add or minus 20%? We minus 20%, yeah? What is the value here? Negative 10%. So this investment actually lost, a loss, not a profit. But this one is not investment in share of stock. This one is about making a decision to deposit the money. Consider Malaysia as a bank account in Malaysia and the United States. $10,000 will be deposited in financial institution XYZ the 1st of January 2019. The interest rate is 3.5% a year. How much is the deposit worth after 1 year? You got this one, okay? The 10,000 is deposited in a bank account in the United States. So we're just looking at the deposit, how much the deposit worth after 1 year in the United States in US dollars, not in Malaysian ringgit. Okay? Right. How to calculate this one? Now from here, you need to understand what is the principal amount and the interest gains. The principal amount is equal to 10,000. That is your initial amount, we call it principal. Yeah? The principal plus interest. That is the amount worth after 1 year. The principal is equal to 10,000 plus interest 3.5%. What is the value? Oh, sorry. 10,350. This is the amount of money worth after 1 year. Well, it looks very simple, right? The next case will be more complicated because the next case, case number 6, let's show you here. This one. This one involves not only interest rate but also exchange rate, right? And we want to make decisions whether it is worth to invest the money in the bank account in the United States or in Malaysia. Want to compare and make a decision. But I'm not going to discuss this one here. I will bring this one to the tutorial discussion next week. Yeah? Because this one requires you to remember several steps. These are the steps. The step you need to follow in order to arrive at the last year. The last step here will tell you whether it is worth to invest in local banks or foreign banks. Yeah? We will discuss this one. We will apply these procedures in the tutorial exercise later. Yeah? Okay, so we're going to skip this one at the moment because we're going to discuss this one in the tutorial exercise. We move to the next concept. This one is called, the concept here is called interest rate parity. The concept we want to discuss here is interest rate parity. Parity means equal. The interest rate between Malaysia and the United States are equal. We call that parity. When this condition is violated, that means the interest rate offered in Malaysia and the United States are not the same. Then this condition is violated. There should be some adjustment in the exchange rate in order to reach this condition again. The writing is like this. Okay, this equation R, as you can see here, we have the dollar sign. This is the interest rate in USD plus the exchange rate. We have E here. The E here mean expected exchange rate. The expected exchange rate minus the exchange rate divided by the exchange rate. This is the value of interest rate in the United States expressed in Malaysian ringgit. In other words, this is equals to the interest rate in Malaysia. Okay? Because if we arrange this equation, we put this part to this side, this will be minus, correct? Which means that this is equals to this equation. Look at this. The term inside the parentheses is equals to this one. Yeah? And if the interest rate in ringgit Malaysia minus the term here is equals, that means this term is equal to 0, right? Zeros mean interest rate parity. The interest rate between offers between these two countries are the same. Yeah? Right, it's just a definition of what I explained to you. Okay. Now this interest rate parity condition is something that we will consider and reconsider in the coming lectures. So you better have a good understanding about this one, because when I try later using this concept, you might not understand in the coming lectures. I believe this is not difficult to understand, right? This is just a difference between local currency and foreign currency. Local currency is in ringgit Malaysia, foreign currency in US dollars. Yeah? But to convert the foreign interest rate back to the term of Malaysian ringgit, meaning if you want to see the value of this foreign interest rate in Malaysian ringgit, we need to convert it using exchange rate, right? Okay. Forex in equilibrium. The equilibrium here implies interest rate parity actually. Meaning that if we reach the interest rate parity condition, we have this forex in equilibrium. Meaning the rate of return from a foreign deposit is equal to the rate of returns of local deposit. Okay? This situation, maybe I should just directly show you the graph in order to let you see clearly how this happened. For example, here. Now, in this graph, we're trying to look at equilibrium, the forex equilibrium. Okay? We have exchange rate here. We have rates of returns. The blue colors line, which is vertical, this measures the returns on deposit in Malaysia. This is measured in Malaysian ringgit. This is the rate of returns in Malaysia. Yeah. And the purple one is the rate of returns for US deposit. Meaning, if you deposit your money in a foreign bank in United States, this is the rate of return you get. If you deposit your money in local bank, this is the deposit gain. Yeah. Now, what I'm trying to tell you here is, point 1 here, where the two curve crosses, this is a point of equilibrium, meaning the rate of return for foreign deposit is equal to the rate of returns of local deposit. This point indicates interest rate parity. Okay? For other point like point 2 or point 3, because these two curves are not crossing, that means the rate of returns are not the same between two countries. That means point 2 and 3, these points are not interest rate parity. No. Point 1, yes. Point 2 and 3, no. This is not parity. As I said, when the interest rate parity condition is not realized, then the exchange rate must be adjusted in order to reach this condition again. Now we want to understand how this condition can be reached by adjusting the exchange rate. From here, you can understand the relationship between the rate of returns and the exchange rate. What causes the exchange rate to go up and down, right? Let's say point 2. Let's say point 2 is the initial point. This is an initial point. Is this an interest rate parity condition? No, this is not. When this is not the interest rate parity condition, in other words, the interest rate parity condition is violated at point 2, the exchange rate will adjust. But we want to understand how this is adjusted, why this happened. Okay? Right, at point 2, do you see this? If I put a line right here, okay? If you consider 2 as the rate of return, what offers? Point 1 offers a higher return or point 2? Point 1 or point 2?
1.
1 offers a higher return because 1 located on the right side of point 2, correct? Okay, on this axis. Because of this, that means which currency, which deposit offer a higher return? Local deposit or foreign deposit? 2 is located on the purple line. The purple line is the foreign deposit, US dollars. The blue line is local deposit. Because 1 is located on the right side of 2, and you say 1 is higher than 2. Which deposit offer a higher returns? 1 or 2? Again, it's 1, right? Does that mean local deposit offers a higher return or foreign deposit? Not convenient to answer. You say 1 is higher than 2, right? Because 1 is located on the right side of 2. And 1 is located on the local deposit, the blue line. And 2 is located on the purple line, which is a foreign deposit. Now I'll ask you again. Local deposit offer high returns or foreign deposit? Local. The local offers high deposit. Okay? When local deposit offers a higher returns, that will become an attraction. An attraction for the foreigners, for other people from other countries to invest in Malaysia. Because Malaysia offers higher returns. Okay? For example, people from Indonesia, from Philippines, from Thailand, from maybe European countries, they will want to invest in Malaysia because Malaysia offers higher returns compared to US dollars. In that situation, when people want to invest in Malaysia, they need to demand one currency. What currency is that? When people want to invest here, what currency they need to demand? What currency they need? Local or foreign? The local currency here, Malaysian ringgit. Okay? Usually, when the demand for Malaysian ringgit increases, that will increase the value of Malaysian currency. Let me show you how this happened. Do you still remember demand supply? How demand curve look like? Downward sloping or upward sloping? Downward sloping. Okay, demand curve. And supply curve is upward sloping. And we consider this one is price, and this is quantity, right? And here we consider Q here is the quantity of currency, not product. Just now I said, when the demand for Malaysian ringgit increases, which curve will shift? Here, the demand curve or supply curve? The demand curve will shift to the left or right? To the right side. The demand curve shift to the right side. Then what happens to the value? The price increases, right? This indicates the value of Malaysian ringgit increases when the demand increases. Okay? When this happens, the exchange rate will adjust because when the value of Malaysian ringgit expenses, increases, that means Malaysian ringgit become cheaper or more expensive. More expensive. Yeah. More expensive is usually reflected by a decrease in the value of exchange rate or increases. Decreases. Decreases mean appreciation or depreciation. Appreciation. Okay? The value increases. The movement from 2s to 1. When exchange rate increases right here, okay? The movement from 2 to 1. This is back to equilibrium. This is called interest rate parity. Yeah, interest rate parity. You can also try interpret how I explained to you just now. If the point begins from here at point 3, you try to interpret how the movement from 3 to 1 can happen by the adjustment of exchange rate. From 3 to 1, for example, this is appreciation or depreciation. This is currency depreciation. Malaysian ringgit become cheaper. Yeah, the value of currency decreases. Okay. Now, the next concept to introduce you is the positive relationship between exchange rate and interest rate. And if any one of you do FYP with variables such as exchange rate, interest rate in one regression model, if yes, then you should know these two variables are positively related. They have positive relationship. Okay? Right. The point here is, as interest rates are high, Malaysian ringgit is strong. On the other way around, if interest rates are low, Malaysian ringgit is weak. This is a positive relationship. Let's look at the graph here. Okay. Look at the graph here. I still have the same label here, this is exchange rate, and I have the rates of return on this side. And the purple line still measures the expected returns on USD. This is foreign deposit. The blue line still measures the returns on Malaysian ringgit deposit. But here's I have the shift of Malaysian ringgit return to the right side. You can see here, because this measures the rates of returns, the shape of the graph from this line is the lighter one to the darker one to the left, to the right side. This indicates an increase in interest rate. When interest rate offers in Malaysia on average increases, this is the shift in the curve, the line here, from this one to this one. Okay? Now, you want to understand the positive relationship between interest rate and exchange rate. We understand the movement from here, from this point to this point. This is an increase in interest rate, correct? And there should be a positive impact on the exchange rate, meaning the exchange rate should get stronger. Get stronger here means Malaysian ringgit appreciate or depreciate. Appreciate. So we want to see whether this is an appreciation amount. Yeah? Now, when this interest rate changes, increases to this level, the exchange rate initially is still the same, it's right here. It doesn't change immediately. Yeah? Once the interest rate in Malaysia increases, the exchange rate is still here. It's still right here. Okay? But do you see that at point 1, this is, exchange rate is still here, okay? It crosses the purple line at point 1. The point 1 indicates what? Returns on domestic or foreign deposit. Foreign deposit, because it's lying on the purple line, right? Okay? But as I said, the exchange rate is still here. It's still crossing the purple line at this point. This is the current returns on foreign deposit. But this is our new deposit here in Malaysia. Which one is higher? 1 and 2. 2 is still higher. Just now we have 2 and 1. Now we put 2 here. Which one is higher? This one offers higher return or this one? 2 offers higher return. Yeah? Because 2 offers a higher return, and this is a Malaysia deposit. This will attract foreign investment here. People from Indonesia, Thailand, and other countries will start to invest here. When they want to invest here, they need to demand Malaysian ringgit. When the demand for Malaysian ringgit increases, that will reduce the value of Malaysian ringgit, right? It will reduce the value of Malaysian ringgit or increase. It will increase the value of Malaysian ringgit. Okay? When the value of Malaysian ringgit increases, that makes Malaysian ringgit stronger, more expensive against US dollars. Okay? As you can see, this exchange rate, as I said just now, Malaysian ringgit becomes stronger against US dollar. This will move from here, or this one move from here. 1 to 2 or 2 to 1. Going up or down? Going down, right? Going down. Going down here, the decrease in the value here implies Malaysian ringgit appreciate or depreciate. Appreciates against US dollars. Yeah. So when this happens, there will be a movement from 1 to 2. Why? Because the movement from 1 to 2 means that people become indifferent again between investment in Malaysia or investment in US, because the interest rate parity condition is achieved again, meaning the rate of return becomes similar again between Malaysia and US dollars. There's no more attraction for people to invest here when the movement from 1 to 2 happens. 2 is interest rate parity. Okay? Right? This is perhaps the last concept here. This one is just the other way around to look at the same concept. Just now we shift the blue line to the right side. Now this time we shift the purple line. Same concept. Yeah. This is the initial point, for example. Point 1 is the initial point. As I said, this is the initial point. That means this is the point of interest rate parity. Let's say the Federal Reserve in the United States decided to raise the level of interest rate in the US. That will increase the rate of return for deposit in the US. And that is represented by the shift of the purple line to the right side. You see the purple line from this one to this one. It seems to be an increase, right? But in fact, it's a shift to the right side, right here. Okay, right here. Shift to the right, not up or down. The shift to the right, it seems like we have the new rate of return, which means that the shift to the right indicates an increase in the rate of return for deposit in the US. Once this shift to the right, the exchange rate doesn't change immediately. It's still here. Okay? This is a new point. This is not. Okay? The exchange rate is still here. That means the interest rate parity condition is violated. We need to restore the interest rate parity condition. To restore the interest rate parity condition, the exchange rate must adjust. Yeah? Now, from the perspective of Malaysia, here in Malaysia, the offers of rate of return for deposit in the United States is higher compared to Malaysia. Not only Malaysia, but other countries also interested to invest in the United States because the offers of return is higher, is highest now. Now what happened? Just consider Malaysia now. People from Malaysia are interested to invest in the US. In order to invest in the US, we need to demand what currency? We need to demand US dollars. That means we need to surprise what currencies? We need to surprise ringgit Malaysians, correct? Because if you don't surprise ringgit Malaysia, how do you buy US dollars? Let's say this one, supply and demand. Again, this is currency, yeah? This is currency. Which curve will shift now? Supply curve will shift to the right side. And what happens to the value? The value increases. When more and more people from Malaysia supply ringgit Malaysian in the international market, that will reduce the value of currency in the international market. That means ringgit Malaysians become cheaper or expensive. Cheaper, okay? Cheaper again US dollars. Cheaper again US dollars means the exchange rate depreciate or appreciate. Depreciate means movement from 1 to 2. Okay, the value become higher here. Once exchange rate depreciation happens, it will happen until it reaches point 2, where the rate of returns between the two countries are the same. Okay, this is again interest rate parity. Okay, interest parity again. So at this point, there is no more incentive for people to invest in US anymore, because at this point people feel indifferent between investing in Malaysia or US, because the offers and returns are the same at this point. Okay? Alright. Let's do some quick revision. Right, number one, this quotation. Is this a direct or indirect exchange rate?
Direct.
This is direct, okay? Number two, when the dollar price of share is $65 with an exchange rate of 4 ringgit and 15 cents, what is the value in Malaysian ringgit?
269.75
$69.75
75 cents.
and 75 cents. Okay. Number three, relative price in this lecture is defined as prices of two goods that are expressed in one unit. Remember the sunglasses and jeans? Common, okay? One common currency. Number four, when the rate of returns of home asset is higher than the foreign asset, that will cause the exchange rate to increase or decrease. Home or foreign? Okay, let's see this one carefully. Rate of return of home asset is higher than foreign. This belongs to this one. This example. Yeah. What we see here, the exchange rate increasing or appreciate? Appreciate. But the question here, this one you say increase or decrease? Decrease. The correct answer should be decrease, not increase. Yeah? You have to understand carefully because this is appreciation, not depreciation. Yeah? Okay, last one. KR. What currency is this? Swedish krona. Yeah, that's cool. How do you know that? Okay. Yeah, this is Swedish krona. Right? Okay. As a matter of fact, I feel a bit stressful when I want to talk about your picture here. Because I also feel, you know, when I also feel sad when I don't see you get a good mark, you know. Anyways, we take a break for maybe 10 minutes. We come back for discussion. Right, everyone here? Okay, this is how I define I have a several categories here. As categories and description, how many students, and the actions you got to take if you belong to the category here. For example, C5 belongs to UNSEC. What actions you can take is to give more efforts and commitments to your studies. Yeah. If you belong to this group, of course you are safe, very safe, but you need to do better next time. Okay. Right. Yep. I'm not sure whether I should give you back this one, have a look, or we discuss the answer first, so we have a look at this, or no? But as a matter of fact, I'm so stressful. Because this is more stressful than I doing lectures, because I want to give you good marks, but when I see you don't get good marks, I feel like, oh, how do I praise these students? But I think something is said. No, okay. I'm gonna give you back these exam papers. We will discuss the answers together. But please do not take this one home because I still need to record your marks. After checking your marking here, please give it back to me. Yeah? Now, I'm going to distribute these papers by C1, C4. Don't worry too much because these categories is not actually 0 or 1. This category means you don't answer carefully. You don't answer carefully, so that affects your marks a lot. It doesn't mean you get 0 if you belong to this category, right? Don't worry. I'm going to ask someone to help me just read the name and come up and get it. Can I have maybe Faiza? Faiza, are you here? Yeah, can you help me? Okay, I'm going to distribute the 10 category here. 10 categories. Yep. So, Faiza, just read the name, they will come up Okay, maybe ask another person to check out this one.
slightly iba.
Oh, si berapa dah? Si berapa dah?
Right, okay. There are fewer people here, so I just read out. This is the second category. Second category is considered safe. It's actually the results quite good. This is 40 and above, 40 over 60 and above. Siu Xue Yi. Lunadira. Very quickly. Sapian. Siti No Aisha. This categories, this one is, so almost 50 over 60. One person's get 54 per 60 is highest. So Lam Zi Ing, Grace Chong Hui, Diana, Yao Xin. The last one is the highest, Viola. high marks, congratulations. For those who get not that satisfying marks, please don't feel demotivated, okay? Hopefully you can get a better marks next time. Now let's look at the answers. When I discuss the answers, please check marking, okay? Okay, right guys, please pay attention here. We discuss the first question. Question A here, okay? Based on the inequality above, which country has the highest relative productivity in spaghetti productions and which country has higher relative productivity in seed productions for fruit? Now, first of all, you have to understand what this equation means. This equation, the first ratio and the second ratio, each of them means opportunity cost of one product in terms of the others, correct? The opportunity cost of crow in terms of spaghetti. In this way, which one has a higher opportunity cost? The first one or second one?
First one.
The higher opportunity cost to produce fruit. Which country? Foreigners, right? Foreign has a higher opportunity cost. Yep. Can you rearrange this term? You can rearrange this term like this one. I will rearrange these terms to become like this. This SP, H, this is L, this is F, this is SP. This is still bigger than this side. See. What do you call this ratio? This inequality. These two terms means relative productivity. If you refer to the lecture notes, after the rearrangement, you can get this ratio. This ratio is for relative productivity. Which country is more productive? In terms of crow production? Oh. And foreign is less productive in terms of higher or more productive in terms of which product? Spaghetti. Right? I understand your feelings, but my feeling is not good though. Okay. So the answer is, which country is highest in terms of relative productivity? In terms of growth? Home. And which country is more productive in terms of spaghetti production? Foreigners. Okay, right. Next question. Now in this next question, the equation will arrange a little bit. Look at this equation and this one, see that home is here and this one home is here. You have to look at this very carefully. Yeah? The relative price of crows in terms of spaghetti is higher than the opportunity cost of crows in terms of spaghetti in forests. Like this. Let's speak. From here, forests should specialize in crows or spaghetti. This is a condition we learned from nature. The relative price of crows in terms of spaghetti is higher than the opportunity cost of crows in terms of spaghetti in forests. This part. That means forests should specialize in crows. Okay? And on the other hand, if you reverse this price ratio, you get the price of spaghetti over the price of crow. This one is bigger than the opportunity cost of spaghetti in terms of crow at home. This indicates home should specialize in spaghetti or crow. Spaghetti, right? Okay. Okay. The following question. From this table determines the opportunity cost of HD TV in terms of jewelry. If there's a necklace in each country, what is the opportunity cost for home, country A? For country A here, the opportunity cost is 3 over 2. This is 1.5. 1.5 in terms of what? Jewelry or TV? In terms of jewelry. Yeah. This is units of jewelry. Why? Because if you let go 3 workers to produce jewelry, 2 workers produce 1 jewelry, another person will produce 0.5 jewelry. So total 1.5 jewelry will be produced. If you let go one TV set, you will be able to produce 1.5 units of jewelry. Okay? And what about foreigns at country B? Country B, this is 6 over 2, and the answer is 3 units of jewelry. Okay? Because you have 6 workers here, if you let go one TV set, you have 6 workers. 6 workers that can be used to produce jewelry. Right? That means 6 workers, 2 produce 1 jewelry, 4 produce 2 jewelry, 6 produce 3 jewelry. Yeah? So the opportunity cost is 3 units of jewelry. Question D. For country A to forego 1 worker from HD TV production, how many units of jewelry necklace that it can produce? What is your answer here? If you let go one worker from TV production, you have 1 worker to work for jewelry. It requires 2 workers to produce 1 jewelry, correct? If 1 person, how many can produce? Because two workers are required to produce 1 unit of jewelry. 1 person produce half. half means 0.5. Okay? 0.5 unit of jewelry. That means if you let go one person from here, in order to make this person produce jewelry, he can only produce 0.5, half, because it requires two persons to produce one jewelry. Right? So the answer here is 0.5 units of jewelry. Here. Okay? Without trade between the two countries, what is the relative price of LED TV to jewelry in the country? Without trade, the relative price should be equal to the opportunity cost, right? So if you if you show your answer as 3/2, you get mark. And if you show your answer as 3 units for foreign for country B, you will get marks. If I give you full mark, if you just say that the relative price is equal to the opportunity cost and you still get full marks or 2 marks, then I consider that I should give you 2 marks for that one. Because I don't demand too much. Because this is actually, you should actually tell me that this is the relative price in country A, this is the relative price in country B without trade. Okay? But if I still give you marks, even if you don't put this information, then I consider that one as something I should give you. Yep. Right. Another question. Okay. These 2 questions. What is the right answer? For F, what is the possible relative price that will allow trade and specialization? Remember this condition. X, this is Y, this is for gold. This is less than the relative price, less than the opportunity cost in foreign. This is the condition that you need to fulfill. What is the value for opportunity cost for country A? This is 3/2, correct?
Yes.
And for B, this is 3. So what is the possible relative price? You need to calculate from here. The first one is equals to
3.3.
is bigger than 3, correct? So bigger than 3 is outside this range, it's out. The second one, 0.8x6, okay? And third one is bigger than 3, okay? And the last one, 1.2. Okay. 1.2 is less than 1.5, which is also outside this range. The only answer possible is the second one, correct? This is the possible answer. Right? This is 2.86. We trade between the 2 countries determines the country that should specialize in HE integration and the country should specialize in jewelry necklace. Country A should specialize based on this equation. Which country should specialize in TV? Let's say X is TV. Then country A should specialize in TV, and country B should specialize in jewelry.
Jewelry.
Right?
Jewelry.
Yeah. This is the solution for question 1. This is the second question, question 2. Determine using the questions given above how input value is limited by export value. The answers that you should provide is this. Import d y minus q y equals to dx over dy times qx minus dx. This is the equation that you should show. This part is import, and this part is export. And this is how import is limited by the value of export. Question B. Illustrate using a simplified graph the import and export between home and foreign with two budget constraints, assuming home import good Y and export X, while foreign import X and export Y. The solution for this one requires you to plot a graph. Which graph is this? I'm not gonna crop it properly, so I simply plot it just to give you an idea, because the graph is available on the lecture slide. Yeah? So it looks like this actually. The first graph, you put y right here and then x here. Second graph, y, x. This one is for home, and this one is for foreign. This one is for foreign. The graph is a straight line. Like this. This is budget constraints. And you should label this one. You should label them properly. Without the labels, you can't get marked. For example, home import Y, right? I should put Y here or X here. Sorry, I should put D here or Q here. This one is D, right? D, Y. And this one is Q, Y. And from here, because home export X, I should have X here and D here. And you got to label them. This one, what do you call this is export or import. This one is import or export. This is export. Okay? And this one is import. By the way, it's very simple. Yeah, it's very simple. But a lot of you did not crop the graph properly, did not proper labels. That's why you don't get the one with this one. Yeah. Okay. For foreigns, you should do the opposite here. This is Q, Y, V, Y. This D, X, Q, X. production of good X is labor intensive, and the production of good Y is land intensive. Assume that the price of good X increases while there is no change in the price of good Y. Assume the following properties. 1. The increase in the relative price of X to Y will reduce the relative input price. The answer is cross or yes. Yes, no. What's the answer here? Let's see a graph like this. Maybe I should open the previous lecture's notes. Right. Now, this is the relative price, X to Y. When this increases, its movements along this curve from here until here. What happens to the relative input price?
Increase.
The relative input price here increases, correct? Both of them increases because X is labor intensive and W is the weight for labor. When the relative price X to Y increases, right here, we understand that the input price ratio also increases. So the answer is true or false. According to our question here, the increase in the relative price of goods X will reduce the relative input price. Is it false? The answer here is false. Right? It's false. And yeah, do you understand why it's false? Sophia? No? Based on the lecture notes here, based on this lecture, the lecture notes here, this price, the relative price X to Y, this is stated in the question. When the price increases, it moves along this line from here to here, okay? And this axis measures the relative input price, appears to B. So when the input price increases, the input price also increases because it's movements along this curve from this point here to here. That's why the answer is false. It's not true. The statement says the input price will reduce, but in fact, the input price will increase. Okay? Right. Why still? Please wait a minute because I'm stuck here. Just can't access the screen. guys, once this finished, sorry about the delays. Second question, the increase in the relative price of food X to Y will increase the use of labels and tags to improve Y production. True. Yes, the answer is true. Because if you look at the ratio here, right here, the ratio is here. This is net over labels. Okay? When the input price increases, it will also increase the use of net to label. Because this is a ratio, you might think that the use of label decreases, the use of net increases. Because that will show that the ratio increases. But in fact, both of them will increase, with land increase a relatively higher portion compared to label. Because, for example, the more land you use, the more people you need. That's why the use of both land and label will increase. Okay? That's why the answer is true. Right, guys, need another help. Need another rest. Just this one. Let's continue to the next question. Assume the cases labels 1 to 4. One is present consumption or future consumption. One is present consumption because it already tells you the PPF bias towards present consumption. Okay? And 2 is, of course, future consumption. this column already tell you this is future consumption. Okay. The ladies, have you jot down the notes on the front pages? Okay. Right. Yeah. Number 3 is lending the following. Lending, because when the country aspires toward current consumption, this country can produce a lot at the moment, currently, and then export the products to other countries. The export will become money. The money can be used for lending. Number 4 is borrowing. For countries that aspire toward future consumption, this country need to invest now, like infrastructures and a lot of things. And before, this country usually need to borrow money now in order to perform investment. When the investment mature in the future, the country can start to export products to other countries, and then with the money received from export, the country will repay the loan in the first place. Yeah? This borrowing, number 4 is borrowing. B, based on your question based on your answer in question A, which country seems to have more productive investment opportunities? Why? Home or foreign? Home has a better investment opportunity. Okay? Because home is biased toward future consumption. Biased toward future consumption means this country has a good investment perspective. This country should borrow money now in order to perform investment. Okay. C, from your answer in question B, illustrate the country's investment opportunities or investment model with its intercapital productions pattern using a simplified graph. Okay, a simplified graph means looks something like this. This is also available from the lecture notes. Okay. For example, this is the PEF curve. This is intertemporal. The intertemporal PEF curve. And then you need to plot ISO value curve. This ISO value. Okay. From these ISO values, tangency with the PPF curve, you should be able to identify the quantity here and the quantity right here. And the distance between these and this quantity, okay, what do you call this? This is investment, correct? This is investment. This investment, this one is, this axis natural current or future consumption. Present. Okay, this is present consumption. The distance here means the country does not use all the resources to produce present consumption, produce until here. And for the extra resources here, this distance, like money, capital, resources can be used for investment. The investment will mature in the future. Mature here means the investment project become materialized, become accomplished. Okay? Once the investment project accomplished, the country can start producing goods and services. When in the future, when the country start producing goods and services, that is here. This axis measure future consumption, right? This is future. This is QF. You can refer to lecture notes to get a better view of this graph. What I draw here is just a graph is not that accurate, but it looks something like this. It's available. I think this one is available in lecture topic number 6. Yep. Okay. And of course, you need to label everything, label completely in order to get full mark for this one. If you provide some, a little bit of explanation, that's appreciated also. Yeah. Okay, I think that's it for the discussion of midterm. Sorry for the delay. If you have any curiosity, any doubt about the marking, please jot down on the front page using pencils on the right upper part. Just write down which question, what problem. I will check again. Yeah? If no problems, you can resubmit your works, your midterm papers. Okay, right, let me correct your papers. Something you can correct the papers.